SG Reads.
Hello fellow travelers, my name is SG and welcome to the channel. Today we're going to go over an independent animated series that has just started within the last 5 months, but has a pilot that dates back almost 7 years by Outcast Studios known as Erma. Now this is about the character Sadako or Sawako or even Sakako from The Ring, Shuon, or The Grudge having a daughter. I say they're all similar in a certain way, but for right now let's talk about the main character having her everyday life along the way. Like I said, there was a short film 7 years ago that really brought the point home about what this whole series was about, and as of recently there's been a few updates to the main series as a whole. I really do enjoy this. I watch the webtoon that comes out every so often on webtoons. It's about in its 600th chapter almost, I believe. And for right now, let's get started, and I have a lot to say about it. Please go support the original creators at Outcast Studios, and also go check out the webtoon on Webtoons as Outcast Comics. Now, please leave a like, comment, subscribe down below if you like my content as well, and let's get started, shall we? The story goes like this. Erma's just a normal everyday girl who goes to school, makes friends, hangs out with her family, talks to boys, does all the regular things. But the only difference is that she is the daughter of an evil spirit and a regular human. She goes with every day with the abilities of a regular vengeful spirit, and at the same time is visible, able to touch things, and make things move with her mind. Now, she does have the ability to bring nightmares to one's own enemies and or friends, have a tendency to be a little mischievous with the babysitters that come to watch over her along the way, and does cause some trouble for some of her classmates, whether turning her neck completely in a 180 degree, or maybe even just transforming herself into a different creature. She does come out of television if she's ever in a rush to go to school, and does have an everyday life where she does have friends, family, and has everyday occurrences happen, so on and so forth. So that would have to be the main synopsis of the whole story. We do have about 4 episodes overall for Erma, such as the pilot that came out almost 7 years ago, as stated before, Episode 1, The Awakening, Episode 2, The First Kiss, Episode 3, The Dog, and Episode 4, The Smile, and finally this one that just came out 2 or 3 days ago, Episode 5, Trick or Treat, where we get to see different aspects of Erma's everyday life. I do like Episode 3 because it just shows the chaos and insanity of said world, showing aliens, Bigfoot, other creatures like that of mythology, but we also get different factors like with Smile, taking a family portrait, enjoying what little you can with your family. Episode 2 showing that there is a love interest in the series overall, or at least the willingness to try, and Episode 5 showing her wanting to connect with classmates even though she herself is an evil spirit that will probably curse somebody if they look at her the wrong way. So, I have to say that it's a fun series, interesting, does have its darker tones, does have a moment where it does give you a bit of fear, and kind of at the same time has a wholesome overall tone to it. It does have a lot of promise. Like I said, I've read the webtoons and have been intrigued in it, kind of mocking the whole, Sunday funny comic kind of thing, and it does offer its own flair to the whole macabre, wholesome style. So I gotta say, if you do want to check it out, go check it out. I'll leave a link down below to the main playlist on the Outcast Studios YouTube channel. Alright, but let's move on, shall we? The main head of the series, acting as both creator, director, animator, and of course editor, is Brandon Santiago. In the pilot, the co-writer is Gator, the music director is Derek Kolecki, voice is by teacher Cecilia Negron, and Derek Kolecki as the dad. The main series, on the other hand, is also directed, animated, and written by Brandon Santiago, while at the same time co-written by Donovan Tracy, color artist Eric Perez, composer Alexander Simone, and assistant animator Corbin Solanka. The animation overall is very well done. Even in the pilot, we do see that there is a lot of promise in this main series as a head, but when we go down to the regular series, episodes 1 through 5, we do get this idea that it has been refined, retuned, and has given this effort that is 100% you would see on a regular television show, whether it be Cartoon Network or Nickelodeon. So there is a lot of promise in this series, and the fact that they're done in shorter segments, such as 2 to 3 minutes, does give it not so much room to kind of be here or there. It does get straight to the point and does offer a lot. And as I said in the past, when it comes to walking cycles, that does matter quite a bit for a character. When we see Erma, we do see her flying around most of the time. Again, kind of emphasizing the fact that she's a spirit, or indoor ghost, or at least the daughter of one. It does give her character, does give her tone, and gives this eerie kind of vibe, while at the same time giving this playful kind of vibe as well. The animation is very colorful, bright, which is saying a lot because most of it's done in black and white, but you can kind of tell the aspect they're trying to go for the most part. When there is color, it's splashed on there and does give it a nicer tone to it. There is lots of red in there, which gives it like a Sin City kind of vibe, but at the same time gives it its own unique flair. That's what I do love about the series. It feels big and boisterous while at the same time offering you this simplistic way of looking at it, almost like you're looking at a moving comic, which makes sense, it being originally a comic. So the animation, grade A effort. I love it, and I can't wait to see more. Usually right here is where I put sound effects, but that's mainly for the pilot. While the pilot does give it this tone that does give it only the necessary little bit to make it suspenseful, but at the same time gives it this playful vibe, the audio does do that as well. The audio gives this playful sense, this eerie sense, while at the same time can flip it and make it something different. I do enjoy something that can change an atmosphere within seconds. So this is definitely one of those things that does that. This is definitely a series that does lean on the aspect that this is trying to be a bit of a horror comedy without the horror, just adding in the scary bits to make it something interesting and unique in its own sense. And while it does come off as a little too playful, I think it's just the right amount. I like these characters. They do offer a little bit more in line of what we can see in the future. It does offer a little bit more to the one side than the other, but it does offer this kind of playful macabre sense. So for the most part, the audio and audio visuals and along those lines are top notch as well. This series has done very well in making you want to see more. Now we've talked about the animation, but I want to talk about the backgrounds, the colorings of it all. When it comes to animation, it's very hard not to notice the background. Sometimes they're done beautifully like a painting. You would go with Courage the Cowardly Dog in that sense. Or they're crude and simplistic. You go with an Eddie in that sense. Or you can go with they're blurry and out of focus, like a Telltale game. This is treating the background as if it were a comic book panel, which I do enjoy. You could tell this little effort, especially at the ending sequence where they're doing their walk cycle. You get this vibe, you get the vibrant feel that's stiff, but it does have movement. It does have its own momentum along the way. So that in itself is very interesting and very fun in a certain aspect. I do like all the extras they add in the background. Something that you might not see before, you'll see again. There is that charm to it. There is a fun bounciness to it. So that's why I really wanted to cover this series as a whole, of how much detail and how much effort you could tell was put into almost every frame in this series. When it comes to the writing for a project like this, it's easy to go either one way or the other with how you want to portray the characters. But I think they found a good mix, making something that feels familiar but at the same time unique, such as The Awakening, where it's this poltergeist-like event happening, stuff's moving, the bed's floating, there's things happening around them that's terrifying. But at the end of the day, it's all in Erma having a bad dream, and they have to react to it. Same thing for The First Kiss. This is all about a boy giving her a flower, but the flower dies in her hands. Again, showing that this is kind of this decaying kind of vibe, giving a macabre tone, but at the same time having a sweetness to it that you don't really see in a lot of things. And then, of course, we get the better example of this is episode 4, The Smile, where the whole family tries to stand still for a family portrait, only for it to be revealed that they come out looking like ghost pictures, looking like demon-like creatures at the end of the day, and says that this has happened a bunch of times. But they accept it for what it is. Now, to write stories like this is hard, because it's hard to make it not just a reference to The Ring, to The Grudge, or something like that. But I feel that there is a nice middle ground to this, where it's allowing the references to speak for themselves, while at the same time letting the story speak for itself as well, allowing the characters to grow in their own way, be interesting, and to increase the way they are. Like I said, I've read the webtoons already, and it's a very fun and very interesting and bubbly kind of storyline that I do appreciate from time to time. I do love the mixing of dark and humor, especially if it's done well. Like I said before, I do like Courage the Cowardly Dog and Vader Zim, but that's going for more of the darker than funny, while this is going for more funny than darker. allowing a wholesome vibe you would see like in Spy X Family or other stories like that. So this is very well done, very well written, and I can't wait to see what's coming next. All in all, I'd have to rate this a 10 out of 10 series, mainly for the fact that the animation is very smooth, very well done, the writing smart, very clever, and allows itself to be its own entity, existing outside of the materials that inspired it, and allowing it to kind of be playful with it, allow it to dance around it, and even increase the world around it. That's why I say I like the episode The Dog, allowing these different aspects to be a part of this world that you don't really see as very often. So I would have to say that Outcast Studios did a fantastic job on the series. I knew when I saw the pilot almost 4 years ago that it was going to be an amazing series too as well. That one feels like it was a pilot, allowing us to understand the characters as a whole. But now that we reach it as a main series, now we can understand the characters in and out, understand what they want and are about. So it does offer some interesting aspects and allow it to grow more with the fans and with the new readers along the way. So, once again, I have to say, well done Outcast Studios and Outcast Comics. I can't wait to see what comes next. Can't wait to see which one you adapt next in the chapters. Alright, thanks again for watching. Please support the original creators. I'll leave a link down below, as I said before. And please, leave a like, comment, subscribe down below for me. If you like this content, I'm going to be covering more independent animations. Please do help support indie animations. I know it's been having a really big resurgence as of lately. Thanks again for watching, and hope to see you guys next time. Have a great one.